You might think the Tour de France Femmes is purely about raw power, tactical brilliance, and the grit of elite athletes pushing human limits. But what if I told you that behind the yellow jerseys and sprint finishes, there's another layer to this race, one filled with secret battles over water bottles, vehicle positioning, and even where riders pay? Welcome to the wild world of the 2026 Tour de France Femmes, where a single discarded Biden or a slightly misaligned car can rewrite the standings. And no, I'm not kidding. Let's unpack why this race isn't just about legs. It's about rules, consequences, and the razor-thin line between strategy and sabotage. Here's the thing. With only 9 stages, every second counts. But what many people don't realize is that penalties here aren't just slaps on the wrist. They're grenades that can blow up a rider's entire campaign. Take Stage 1, where 4 different team directors got yellow cards for vehicle violations. Personally, I think this reveals how high the stakes are. These aren't amateur staff members. They're seasoned pros, yet they're still risking penalties in the opening hours. Why? Maybe because the pressure to position cars for optimal support is so intense it becomes a calculated gamble. But here's the kicker. Those fines add up financially, and the UCI points deductions? They're like a slow poison, accumulating across the season to affect team licenses. That's not just about one race. It's a year-long game of survival. Now let's talk about the riders themselves. Alice Towers from EF Education got fined for littering a Biden. Big deal, right? Wrong. What this really highlights is cycling's bizarre obsession with environmental symbolism. Teams plaster eco-friendly slogans on jerseys, yet riders are penalized for tossing a plastic bottle, while the entire peloton rides behind a fleet of gas-guzzling motorcycles. It's almost hypocritical. And then there's the sticky bottle epidemic. By Stage 6, nearly every team had been fined for this offense, where a staff member holds out a water bottle a few meters too long. From my perspective, this rule is outdated. In a sport where hydration is life or death, why are we policing the exact second a rider grabs a drink? It's like penalizing a soccer player for adjusting their shin guards mid-game. But the most jaw-dropping moment? Stage 7, where 3 riders from FDJ Suez got fined for urinating in public. Really? In 2026, we are still pretending female athletes don't have biological needs? Meanwhile, male riders in the men's tour rarely face similar scrutiny for the same act. This raises a deeper question. Why are we policing women's bodies in sports so aggressively? It's not just sexist. It's emblematic of how women's cycling is still fighting for equal treatment, respect, and practical accommodations like sufficient porta-potty access during 150 km races. And let's not forget the ripple effect of these penalties. A time penalty here, a point deduction there. It might seem minor, but in a tight GC battle, that's the difference between yellow jersey glory and obscurity. Demi Vollering, a pre-race favorite, got hit with a sticky bottle fine in Stage 7. Did that 100 Swiss francs cost her the podium? We'll never know, but imagine the mental toll of knowing a single misstep by your DS could derail months of preparation. That's the invisible stress of this race. So where does this leave us? The Tour de France Femmes isn't just a test of physical endurance. It's a masterclass in navigating bureaucracy, politics, and the absurdity of rulebooks written for a different era. Personally, I think the UCI needs to modernize its approach. Focus on safety and fairness, not micromanaging Biden tosses. Because if we want this race to grow, and for women's cycling to thrive, we need rules that empower athletes, not entangle them in technicalities. What's your take? Should the sport loosen up on these fines, or do you think the strict enforcement keeps things fair? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to smash that like button if you're as obsessed with the hidden drama of cycling as I am. See you next time.